Meghan represents more than just a figure in the headlines. She embodies desire, envy, and the chasms that divide perception from reality. To some, she is a symbol of modern royalty. To others, she is a mirror, reflecting insecurities and old resentments that stretch across generations.
Meghan represents everything she couldn't hang on to. A successful and loving marriage with her own biological children. Because Lady Colin had to adopt hers.
This is someone who Meghan has re-Instagrammed, liked, and not only has ever liked, she liked it. She views all his videos, and he shows proof that she does. He's stupid enough to take screenshots.
Among the most vocal critics are the members of what has been dubbed the Sussex Squad, a network of online actors, trolls, and commentators, moving in shadows yet backed by visibility. These are not mere fans. They are orchestrators of chaos, amplified by engagement from the very figures they champion. Meghan, it seems, watches. She interacts, she endorses. And with every click, every screenshot, the line between support and complicity blurs.
Meghan associates with these people and has no problem with it.
Now you'll know that I was the first to call out these revolting goons in the Sussex Squad. And the fact that the Duchess herself, the fake Duchess as I call her, has been working with these imbeciles, with these bots, with these paid PR trolls to become, I believe, the biggest internet trolling operation in the history of the World Wide Web. And the mainstream media have...
At the center of this network is JTB, a figure described as talentless, embittered, yet strategically dangerous. He thrives on the misfortune of others, targeting those already vulnerable. Lady Colin Campbell, once celebrated for her insights into the monarchy, found herself attacked while recovering from a serious injury. These attacks are not accidental. They are surgical, personal, and, in the words of those observing, cruel. They strike at dignity, at family, at memory itself. The Sussex Squad, while operating at a distance, reflects the mindset of their patron, the enjoyment of disruption, the thrill of watching reputations crumble.
Colin Campbell, Lady Colin Campbell, who, by the way, when he was making these videos, was suffering in hospital with a broken pelvic, which shows you what type of scum this human being is. But before we get to that, let me bring in Brittany, editor of the Royal News Network, because Brittany, I just want to contextualize the reality of the Sussex Squad. These are truly vile, despicable trolls who operate at a sort of arm's...
Lady Colin herself is a complex figure, a woman forged by rejection and ambition, who chased prominence in the rigid corridors of London society. Her criticisms of Meghan and Harry are personal, yes, but they are rooted in years of observation, of watching history repeat itself under new guises. She is often described as bitter, but bitterness in her voice is merely the echo of a life spent navigating hierarchies that refuse to embrace her. In confronting the Sussexes, she is less critic and more witness, bearing testimony against a wave of toxicity she did not invite.
Formerly known as Lady Colin Campbell, who speaks about Meghan and Harry with a level of rage that sounds like it's been fermenting since the 1800s. Every time she opens her mouth, you can practically hear the cobwebs shaking off her opinions. She was born Georgia Ariana Ziadi in Jamaica. Not British aristocracy, not palace-raised royalty, not a woman molded in the halls of Windsor. She grew up in a strict, old...
The venom directed at Lady Colin is emblematic of a larger pattern. JTB and his cohort strike at fertility, at family, at personal legacy, weaponizing private truths as public ammunition. Their targets are human, their methods merciless, and their patronage implied by likes, reposts, and silent endorsements. This is the machinery of modern digital influence. Power is measured not by crown or title alone, but by the ability to cultivate networks that defend, attack, and manipulate in real time. And behind it, a figure who watches, approves, and relishes the drama.
What he has said about our Lady Colin Campbell, who is of course recovering from this broken pelvis, has been in hospital over the past few weeks. And by the way, for anyone who maybe doesn't realize, in America has had a decades-long career before Meghan Markle was ever on the scene, a household name in the United Kingdom, in part because of her legendary appearance on the big ITV reality show I'm a Celebrity, but also someone who was the first to reveal everything that was going on with Princess Diana back in the 90s. So his claim that Lady Colin Campbell is in some way obsessed with Markle because it helps her career is complete balderdash. Just like me, someone who had a very big career before Meghan came on the scene.
Yet the story is not merely one of trolls and targets. It is also a tale of monarchy in transition. Titles may be stripped, boundaries redrawn, and traditions challenged. Prince William's anticipated reign is shaping a monarchy that prioritizes accountability over indulgence, structure over spectacle. The fate of Harry and Meghan, like that of others who stray from protocol, is entwined with these shifts. The royal family navigates treacherous waters, scandals, legal threats, and the enduring public gaze. They must weigh loyalty against propriety, legacy against public perception. In this new era, visibility is both shield and weapon, and every gesture is scrutinized, every silence interpreted.
For some time, Prince William to change the monarchy forever. No titles for Beatrice. She writes, Prince William is gearing up to become king sooner rather than later, I'm told, and his vision for the monarchy is going to look very different from his father, King Charles's reign. Fewer titles means there is less of a chance for a degenerate like Prince Andrew, now called Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, to slip through, which means, as I previously reported, Harry and Meghan will lose their titles, as well as Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie. And it's interesting, isn't it, Brittany, that she's now just reporting this as a fact. You know, it's not Harry and Meghan might lose their titles, William might consider some type of punishment for them. It is Harry and Meghan will lose their titles.
It's very interesting, Dan, and honestly, it is hard to argue that you could strip the titles from Harry and Meghan and not do it to Beatrice and Eugenie as well. I don't think they necessarily deserve it, but
Meanwhile, figures like Prince Andrew remind us that power is fragile, even for the ostensibly untouchable. His legal entanglements and the strategic avoidance of public hearings underscore the delicate balance of monarchy and law. The palace must preserve dignity while containing potential crises, sometimes quietly, sometimes behind closed doors. Andrew's case illustrates a central truth. Royal privilege can protect, but it can also entangle. The stakes are immense, not just for those in the line of succession, but for the institution itself. Every decision, every restraint carries consequences.
The father of the head of state once says, he is a lineal heir to the throne. He has had plenty of conversations with Charles over the years about the whole thing because Charles signed off on the payment. By payment, they mean the reported $12 million Dufresne settlement funded with significant royal assistance. The argument essentially is that if Andrew discussed any part of the Dufresne matter with his brother before or after Charles became king, then the monarch is now entangled in that knowledge. Any prosecution in Britain could pull the king directly into the process as a material witness. Cue the ghost of Paul Burrell. When Diana's former butler was charged with stealing hundreds of her personal items, the case collapsed overnight when Queen Elizabeth II remembered that Burrell had once told her he was safeguarding items for the late princess. The monarch is the court and the prosecution evaporated. Andrew's allies insist the parallel is accurate. If the king were drawn into a legal case involving his brother, the same constitutional tripwire would be triggered because Andrew could simply say he discussed everything with Charles. This is also why Charles refused to meet Harry while his case against the government was going on. And what then? Cross-examine an ailing monarch in his own court? Yeah, right. Inside the palace, there is no appetite for Andrew to be dragged into an actual courtroom after already being strung up on the virtual scaffold of public opinion, and the last thing King Charles needs is for his disgraced brother to...
Amid this, the Sussex Squad operates as a microcosm of modern conflict, digital aggression endorsed by high-profile figures, mixing fandom with fury, devotion with vitriol. It is a reminder that power, when mediated through screens and social platforms, reaches farther, faster, and often without accountability. And so, the narrative of Meghan, Harry, and their digital allies is not only about celebrity or controversy. It is about the collision of modern media, personal ambition, and the enduring shadow of an institution built on centuries of scrutiny. It is about reflection, reaction, and the choices we make when observing history in real time.
a lot of evidence for this. You can see this that she's constantly, and Harry are constantly clapping back against what they're seeing on social media. But I do want to address, obviously, a little bit of what this guy does. I think I've seen him mentioned a time or two. Haven't seen really anything that he's done, but he exemplifies what so many of the Sussex Squad people do, which is that they automatically take what you are offering as, let's say, legit criticism of Harry and Meghan, and immediately going with an ad hominem attack and misdirecting your actual argument. And it's kind of a logical fallacy, and it reflects that they can't actually argue you on the merits of your argument. They have to attack you personally because that's you.
In the end, these stories are a testament to the power of perception. Titles may fade, legacies may shift, but the echoes of influence persist. From palace corridors to digital feeds, the struggle is not just for public affection, but for control of narrative, for dominance over truth, and for survival in a world where observation is constant and judgment immediate. And perhaps the most enduring lesson is this: the ghosts we create, online, in ink, in conversation, often outlast those who summon them. They haunt reputations, shape destinies, and remind us that history is never silent.
This type of behavior, I think she encourages it, obviously, with this gentleman. She encourages that level of behavior. She likes it, she enjoys it, and she wants people to do that. And I think that's pretty disgusting, in my opinion.
Yeah, and by the way, it's not just commentators like Lady C who he has targeted. Like other members of the Sussex Squad, he targets the real royals. And so this is Meghan endorsing attacks on her own family. I mean, look at his graph about Queen Camilla, claiming that Camilla is down in the popularity stakes compared to Meghan, which is ludicrous anyway. But look at what he's nicknamed her, Brittany, Cow Miller.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Says it all.
It does. And this again, Dan, goes to
In the interplay of crowns and cliques, of ambition and resentment, one thing remains certain. The stories we witness today will echo tomorrow, shaping the monarchy, the media, and the very ways we define power in the 21st century.